Blog Talk Radio.
Today Radio. For the past 12 years, we've been bringing you the world of tarot. This is the official broadcast of the Tarot Guild, the international organization for tarot lovers, students, and professional readers since 2004. And I'm your host, Dax Carlisle, coming to you live from Tucson, Arizona. And joining me, as always, my fabulous co-host. She's the vice president of the Tarot Guild and director of communications. She's also a professional tarot reader, crystal Reiki master, and here she is live from Amarillo, Texas, the one, the only Mary Brown. Hey, Mary.
Hey, Dax. Hey, Dax. Hey, everybody. Happy Psychic Saturday. How's it going?
And here we are on another Saturday. It's going great. I want to tell everybody to call in now. We're going to go to the call lines a little early, so get in there now if you're listening live, 714-816-4628. Dial into the show and press 1 on your dial pad. That'll put you in the caller queue. We take the calls in the order that they came in. Let me give that number out again, Mary, 714-816-4628. We're going to be taking your calls all show long. It's open lines. You can ask questions. You can just chat about whatever's on your mind. You can ask for a mini reading. It's all fair game, open lines, and it's also the last Tarot Today episode of the month. You know what that means. Psychic Spin segment later on in the show. We're going to be talking about, Bigfoot and Sasquatch.
Yay!
Or is that the same thing? Yeah, we just kind of accidentally came up with that when we were doing a Facebook Live on Tuesday, and I was just rattling off a bunch of stuff we did, and I mentioned Bigfoot just in passing, and I thought we had maybe done something on that, and you were like, we should do it on Bigfoot. Let's do some Sasquatch.
Yeah, let's go squatching. I've watched all of the Bigfoot TV series, where they're looking for Bigfoot.
Oh, yeah.
It's like finding Bigfoot, hunting Bigfoot, killing Bigfoot. Are you Bigfoot? All of those. I'm all about the Bigfoot. What is that? I'm curious. So this will be fun.
Well, I think I remember when it was really big in the 70s, and that's when I got into it. And then I started listening to the Art Bell show, and a lot of it was Bigfoot back in the day. So
oh yeah,
it's a topic I've been mulling around for 40 years. Never pulled cards on it. Never pulled cards on Bigfoot.
Me either.
Interesting.
Isn't that funny?
You would think, but yeah. So this will be definitely interesting. But we're going to take some phone calls first, and also I wanted to mention you can join us in the chat room. I see Sharona's in there, Mary's in there, I'm in there. It's on the Tarot Guild website, which is thetarotguild.com, and you can just click chat in the navigation. That'll take you over there. There's a player, actually. Whatever show's coming up next live, there's always the player below the chat room. So you don't have to have multiple things open. You can just go there, click play on the player, make sure it says live episode. Sometimes you have to refresh the page. And then you can join us in the chat room. You can ask for a mini reading right in the chat room, or chat with us in there, or comment on the show, or what have you, right in the chat room. There's also, if you want the direct URL, it's thetarotguild.com/chat. That'll take you right over there as well. So come and join us in the chat room. Oh, we have Engaged Earthling now in the chat room. Yes. Come over and join us in the chat room. It's a lot of fun. And Sharona's in there, one of our other hosts, and she's also the director of education for the Tarot Guild. So if you have any questions, you can chat up Sharona and Mary and I when we're in there, as well as calling in to the show, 714-816-4628. So let's see, Saturday, May 28th, 2022. We're in a world year of 6, Mary. Continuing on with that return to balance and harmony after the chaos of 5. Well, it doesn't have to be chaos, but 5 years tend to be chaos, and it kind of was chaotic. I don't know about for you, but it was for me, 2021. And 2022 is going quite well, actually, but here we are. We're coming. I know we're halfway through the show. Listen to me, through the year, because we're coming up on my birth date, June 16th, and that's when I know we're halfway through the year. And my God, this is just blasted by. Oh wow! But let's talk about today for a second, as far as numerology. So the month is 5. It's the 28th. The day, so 2 + 8 is 10, 1 + 0 is 1. So it's a 1 day, and the whole date, though, adds up and reduces to 3. Creativity and communication, which we had that same energy last Saturday. We also had that 5 energy last Saturday and the Saturday before, and I was talking about, hey, just relax, take a spa day, But it's almost the same thing today, because with that 1 energy, it's about self. So, we often, Mary, forget about us. We're so busy doing for other people and, taking care of other people. You need to take some time, smell the roses, right? Get out into nature. Go by water. Get in water. It's grounding. It's really good. Go for a spa day. Go to a movie. Read a good book. Ride the roller coasters. Focus it all on self, and that 3 energy, is about creativity and communication. So, today's a great day. It's the weekend. Maybe you're a painter. Get out in nature and paint. How about that? You just had your Rosuli. Are you going to do more art this afternoon?
Oh, yeah. All week long. But, and you know what? Painting outside in nature. It's the plein air technique that a lot of the Impressionists did. We have a lot of American, what we call the American Impressionists that did that too, like Robert Wood, who did these beautiful landscapes while out in nature. And of course, the master of them all, Cézanne from France. From France. Remember that SNL?
Yes.
I just thought of that. We are from France. But we are wonderful France. Idea.
Coneheads. Yeah, and so again with that, also with the 1 energy is leadership, and also focusing on your own, personal growth. So this is a good weekend to be working on that. Maybe you're working on a project, or you're going to start a project. And there might be good news coming in about that, because I was pulling a card of the day. I actually ended up pulling some qualifier cards too. And I got the Page of Coins. And that can often be, the pages sometimes show up when it's, the start of something, but also messages. And I just feel like someone out there is going to be getting a message, a positive start to something surrounding the material, because Pentacles, coins is the earth element. And so projects and, and career and work and money and finances and things like that. But I pulled qualifier card, and I was like, so I got the 9 of Cups, the wish come true card. So if you follow the advice today that I gave you with the numerology and all, and look out for that message and just move forward on that project, your wishes are going to come true. Now, it's not going to be without work, and I pulled another qualifier card, and I got card, Mary, the Tower card. And so I feel what's going on with that is in order to get to the 9 of Cups, the wish come true, so to speak, it's going to require a shift in foundations, shift in beliefs. You may have to get rid of some belief systems that no longer serve you, things along those lines. So, yeah, that's part of the equation as well. So that's what I got. Did you get a card of the day today? What deck did you pull from?
I used the Empath's Oracle by Raven Digitalis, who we just had on the show. Everybody look for that in archive. It was a great interview with Raven, and this deck has such beautiful artwork by Konstantin Bax. And the card I pulled is Transforming Empathic Absorptions. This might help people with what you're talking about with, letting go, that kind of stuff, because especially people that, and I think it's true for everybody, whether they consider themselves an empath or not, we can absorb other energies that don't really serve us very well. And the artwork for this card, kind of represents that idea, and it's absolutely beautiful, stunning artwork by Konstantin Bax anyways. But Raven gives this great suggestion. And he says, when you feel that you've absorbed other or even excessive emotional energy, he said to go ahead and imagine that emotional energy entered the left side of your body and is now exiting the right side. So while you talk and engage with other people throughout your day, if you feel like you're picking up too much energy from other people or your surroundings, just have that concept in your head that it's entering one side and exiting the other side. So it's just going through you and isn't going to just stick to you and just gum you down. So that's the card I got.
Awesome. All righty. Sounding good. Hey, so if you're listening to us live, stay tuned for Bigfoot and Sasquatch in our Psychic Spin segment a little later in the show. We're going to take a couple of calls here, see who's out there. And by the way, this is the time to call in and get your spot now. 714-816-4628. Grab your spot in the caller queue and hold on to it. Don't hang up. We've had people hang up and they call back in, and now they're 15 calls down and we never get to them. So you want to hold on to that call spot. Yes. Let's see. Oh, I got to shuffle. I'm actually using my actual physical deck.
Uh-oh. Look out.
I know. I actually have to, I'm so used to, God, we've been doing this for 12 years. I'd say all that time up till recently when I got the Mac and lost my, Windows tarot program, I've been doing it digitally, folks. I just, shuffle and pull cards with the push of a button. The modern technology. But now I'm actually using a physical deck, the Grand Lux by Ciro Marchetti. Oh, my God. Yes, we're shuffling here. Let's see. Who's been waiting the longest, Mary? Let's go to area code 205. Caller, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, Bex and Mary. My name is Patricia. I'm calling from Alabama. Thank you both for taking my call. How are you guys?
Hi, Patricia. We're doing good.
Hi.
I'm doing good.
Good. I guess whatever a spirit would like for me to know. I do have a lot going on, so I can't just pin down one question. So whatever is most significant for me, please. And thank you.
Okay, well, I've got something on that right away for you, Patricia. And, oh, God, I love these cards. I'm pulling out the cards here. It's my new favorite deck, Mary. Oh, my God, I just love this. And, I got the Two of Swords. And so what I'm feeling, Patricia, and then the High Priestess and some other cards here we'll get to in a second. Just real quick. So here's the message that I got for you, is that in all that you've got going on, and don't we all have, like, tons of stuff going on,
yes.
There's a choice, or maybe even multiple decisions that you haven't made yet. Now, we're doing this on the fly. We only got a couple of minutes with each caller, so I can't get in depth in this. You're going to have to figure out a little bit of this on your own here, because there could be multiple things going on, or it could be either or with some of these things. Like typically with the Two of Swords, she's blindfolded. Okay, she doesn't know which path to take. Swords are thoughts and ideas. So here you've got two ideas that are probably, opposites of each other, or just not the same thing, and they're crossing each other, and you can only go down one path or the other. It's like a fork in the road. And with the blindfold on, there could be different things going on. Like you could just be unconsciously not making the decision, or even consciously, just you're just not doing it. You're just and it could be a lot of things. You could be afraid to make a decision. You could be afraid to make the wrong decision, things along this line. And to go along with that, I got the High Priestess card, which is talking to connection with your psychic, your own personal psychic abilities. We all have it. We all have intuition. And it's saying that, and especially because it's the two of, what did I say, swords, thoughts and ideas. Okay, you're thinking too hard on this stuff, all right? You need to start paying attention to and trusting your gut instincts on these things. And so, and even if this isn't totally clear to you right now, within the next 2 to 3 days, it's going to hit you. And you're going to go, oh, that's what Dax was talking about. And what you want to do is you want to sit down, take a minute, take a deep breath, close your eyes, put your hand on your solar plexus. Take a deep breath. I call it belly breathing. You're going to breathe in and expand the abdomen, not the upper chest, okay? It's called belly breathing, like the Buddha. And what you're going to do is you're just going to ask yourself the question, is A better for me or B better for me, or you can go one by one, which might actually be a little more accurate, is you go, how does A feel? And then clear the space for a second. That may require, stand up for a second, take some more deep breaths, and then go with the other possibility, how does this sit with you? And you have your hand on your abdomen, and right away you're going to get an instinct. You're going to feel really positive or really negative about each one of those, and it's going to give you a hint which direction to go in, and then you end up with the World card. Yep. So let's see what Mary's getting. What'd you get, Mary?
Thank you.
Yes, well, I agree with what you got. I think that was great advice, really. The one thing that I got is talking about taking a creative approach. I get the Empress card that comes up here along with the Ten of Wands. So the Ten of Wands is like when we can feel like we've got everything on our shoulders. Sounds like you have a lot of balls in the air, but you don't want to become weighted down by them. And so it might be that approach that Dax was talking about might be really helpful in kind of like helping to sort of, I don't want to say clear the chaos, but like clear, get clarity really. Like get a clear intention with some of the things that you have on your plate, and the ones that you don't have a clear intention with, or that can be maybe developed more, or require more time to kind of maybe put those aside for a moment and get some of this off your plate. So that's what I get.
Mainly,
great advice.
I think, that decision is got to be with the work. The job, I'm working through an agency that pays about $12 more, and the actual company wants me to come on and work for them, which is going to be $12 less.
Yeah, they're going to save money. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, who wants to lose, $12, taking less? So I'm just trying to feel my way around. I know sometimes you take less because it may be maybe you can balance it with maybe their insurance is better. So if I take a cut in pay, I'll gain good insurance, or either the company is a good place to work for. So I'm wrapping myself around just observing. I walked in kind of like chaos. They did a full, they just went through every part of the company, letting people go. So a full whole, makeover, do-over in employees, because it was just so toxic. So I walked into a toxic place, and I'm watching it change for the better. But, some of the administrators, they just kind of, I don't know. It's still a little tweaking.
Patricia.
So if
Patricia, let me just stop you right there, okay? I'm going to give you a little bit. I'm not going to make the decision for you, but I'm going to give you a little hint, because I pulled some cards, and for going with the company, I got the King of Wands, and for staying contractual, I got the Queen of Swords. And I love that, how I got people, Mary, instead of anyway. So what this is telling me is that there will be other financial gains, not like your direct pay, but the things that you were talking about with the King of Wands. If you decide to go with going on with that company, things will be getting better. I'm glad you actually said that you're seeing it getting better, because that's the feeling I got right away. And I got this feeling that was what your hesitancy was. And so there's a structure, and there is additional benefits that are non-monetary, or they could be monetary, but not in your actual base pay kind of way. And then with the other possibility, we get the Queen of Swords, and again with the swords, right? And what I'm feeling with that is, okay, you're going to be able to maintain your independence, and yes, make more direct money. All right, so it's very clear and cut, and you just have to decide. You have to make the decision. Go with your gut instinct. Do the little exercise that we talked about. If you want to remain independent and be able to take other contracts and make more money, you don't need the structure, the stability, the benefits that you get as an employee. Go with that. If you think things are going to be better at that company, and things are going to continue to get better, and you think that you are going to be able to reap other benefits of structure and corporate culture, security, things like that, go with being an employee. My big thing me personally, I'm just the entrepreneurial type. It's like I would want to stay independent and make more money initially, and just and if I don't like what's going on, guess what? I find another contract somewhere else.
But that's and
just
I'm just really loving the freedom and the money and it's weekly. The jobs, the employer is every 2 weeks is $12
exactly
less versus the agency is every week $12 more. I'm just loving it. Hey, you can get as many hours. Oh God, it's just
right.
So, but I know it's
so
others.
We're gonna
waiting. Yes, I was just gonna say that. Thank you and Mary. I love you guys.
We're gonna leave it with you.
Thanks for calling.
Have
a great weekend.
For calling, Patricia. Yes, have a great weekend. Well, that was a great first call, and Mary's going to start off on this next one here. Actually, my neck of the woods, area code 520. Hello, caller.
Oh, my goodness. It's Lisa from Arizona. I thought
you
were
it's Lisa.
talking
Hi,
about
Lisa.
my call, that when you said, people are calling back in, because I had lost my place, and then I had to redial, and I thought, oh, no, I dropped to the bottom. But, no, here I am. Thank you for taking my call. So this is my question. It's so lovely to hear you all, to reach out and feel familiar, reality. I lost my 22-year relationship person. He passed, and he didn't expect to pass. I didn't expect to have him pass, and I had left him. I had broken it off, but he was, and I had moved. I'd relocated, and he kept calling, and I kept going down there to help out with whatever. And we were talking about me starting to spend more time with him, and we were feeling our way around those kind of plans. So now he's passed, and my question is, how do you see the legal side of things coming together for me through his passing? Do you see it as positive?
The legal side of things, you said?
Okay, so so 22-year relationship. So, that's my question. We weren't married, but do you
like
see
kind of a common law type thing?
No. There's no common law in Arizona. It's not recognized. But we just, so that would be the question. The legal psychic energy, if you're picking anything up on legal, positive, is it? Yeah.
Okay, so this kind of, what do we see comes up when we ask that question the way you intend it? Okay, so looking at that, okay, the first thing that comes up is the Six of Swords. So already there's going to be an improvement, okay? And the thing that's interesting is it has to do with an improvement on things that maybe you've been waiting on or that have been put aside in the past. And then we have the Wheel of Fortune. So this is all like going from something wasn't moving to now it's moving. Things are improving. And look, it may be, unexpected in some ways too, because we do have the Full card energy. I feel like you're not really going to see this really start happening for about a month. We have the Four Swords, so it's like, okay, we're taking a little break time here while things are starting to, I guess, sort of come together, get into place, the energy of it. So this to me looks like if there's a legal, right, or asking about in regards to something legal connected to his passing and you, we see something that maybe was, nothing was happening with, that maybe we were even waiting for something to happen with, that now it's like the energy's clearing up and things start rolling. So, but let's see what Dax gets.
Okay, this is really cool. You got that 6 card, and I got a 6 card. And by the way, numerologically, 6 is success. So that's your answer right there. I got the 6 of Cups. The Page of Wands comes into, and again, I think you're going to get a message on this of some kind. And just like what Mary was talking about with the Fool, also Pages, which I got with the previous caller too, is, new beginnings of things. It's a start, But just to answer the question, I agree with Mary, and I got 6 too. So there you go.
Thank you. When you first started talking on the opening of the show, Dax, on the Page of Coin, I claim that. I take that for myself, and whoever else wants to do it for themselves, that's fine. But, yeah, we were involved in a lot of business stuff, and so we'll see. I accept what you're saying. Thank you both. Thank you.
Thanks for calling.
Awesome. And you can always, call back in, let us know what's going on, Lisa, on that.
Yeah.
We'd love to know how things turn out. Yeah. So let's see. I think we're going to take one more call here, and then we're going to talk some Bigfoot, folks. By the way, this is a good time to get in and secure your spot for after we're done with the Sasquatch segment. Ooh, did you see how I did that? Anyway, the Psychic Spin
alliteration.
Yeah, it's only going to be 5 or 10 minutes, and we'll get back to the calls. And we're also going to let you know here at the bottom of the hour what's coming up on the radio network, because we have a lot of great shows coming up for you as well. So this is a good time to call in and get your spot if you're listening live. 714-816-4628. Press 1 on your dial pad as soon as you get through. We're going to go to the next caller that's waiting the longest, area code 310. Hello, caller.
Hi.
What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, my name is Vince. I'm calling from New York.
Hi.
Hi. So, I have a situation here financially and career-wise. I have a job right now, and it's not paying enough. I mean, I'm barely getting by with paying bills and stuff, and I'm really worried right now. I have been looking for something else. So 2 weeks ago, I went for a job fair at a company. They manufacture cans for the breweries and the soft drink companies and everything. And I talked to the HR girl on Monday, and she said they're still going through the applications. They haven't made the decisions yet. So I'm waiting to hear from them. And then on Tuesday, I went for a job fair at a company called Metal Container. They do the same thing. The only difference is I used to work there, and I got fired because I got blamed for doing an unsafe act. And so I went there because they were having job fair, and I met with the new HR manager, and he told me that he's got to look at my record because, I told him that I was told I was a great worker, but he said you have to wait a year before you're eligible for rehire. So I'm wondering if either of these jobs are going to come through or if something else is coming.
Yeah, let's look. I guess the immediate question is, well, has it been a year since that other job?
Well, it's been 6 months, so I have to wait till December before I can reapply.
Right. Okay. Yep. And okay, so yeah, it's not looking too good for going back to where you were before. And I just personally, gut instinct, I just don't feel like you want to wait. You can't wait. You need
No,
now this other job and then this other job that you applied for, I get the 10 of Cups, Hearth and Home. It looks really, really positive on that one. And then I want to see something else here. Let me just look real quick here. Okay, so And I was going to do, let's see, the timing on that. Yeah, you're going to hear real quick on that one. It's going to be like, I just pulled the timing card. It's going to be, I'm getting like around a week, and you're going to hear about that. Now, I don't think that's permanent either, though. When I look at, future prospects a few months away, up to 6 months, I don't go out farther than that. And I get the Temperance card and the Star card, and, there's just a lot of hope and possibility for something even better, So if you get the job, it's not that you don't take the job if they offer you the job, but know that there is other things out there, and things are going to open up in that 3 month to 6 month period.
Okay. Yeah, because I'm on the verge of financial. Yeah, because I'm eating up at my savings. Yeah. I got car payment. I've got rent. I've got everything is going up. It's a horrible situation right now.
Yeah, a lot of people are in the same exact boat. Let's see if Mary's getting any advice for you.
Okay.
What are you seeing, Mary?
Yeah. So this actually looks good for the new opportunity.
Okay.
We have the Ace of Swords comes up, and the Six of Pentacles is usually like, it's associated with the idea of being given something, a gift in some way. So it may be that you take this and it is, kind of like a real blessing at this time, right? And then, I got the Empress, and then I end on the Ace of Cups. Like there's another opportunity coming further down the road to be able to do something that you really care about, that you really love. Because this is sort of like this opportunity that you're looking at now, actually, both of them that you're considering. This is more about like paying the bills, keeping the boat afloat, so to speak. But I feel like you need to keep in mind, that there's going to be an opportunity down the road in the not too distant future where you're going to get a chance to like kind of do something that you actually like enjoy.
Yeah.
So that's what I got.
Yeah, because it would. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was going to say it looks good. So don't lose heart. Don't try to get the worry off your shoulders a bit.
Yeah, because if I see the first job I mentioned is like a 2-hour drive from me, but I'd be staying up there. But the good thing about it is it's like they work 12-hour shifts, and it's 4 days on and then 4 days off, which would be great because this way I get to spend a little more time with my wife because she's got a lot of health issues right now. And, I want to spend as much time as I can with her, for whatever time, God gives us. So it'd be a great blessing if that happens. So.
Yeah. And that's great because the Six of Pentacles card that I have, it's this angel that's just like completely filled with light that's giving the gift. So that idea of a blessing is right there in this card I'm looking at.
Right.
So yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
I'll cross my fingers and hope that I'm hoping I hear by Tuesday and say, come on, So
well, good luck with that,
too.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
Thanks
Have
for
a good
the call,
weekend.
And I hope things get better soon there. I know a lot of people are in the same boat, Mary, with the shortages, it's
the big squeeze right now
problems.
for a lot of people. Yeah.
Prices are going through the roof. Weren't we talking about that in the green room before we even got on air? About the
I think so. It's just a wacky out there.
It is. So, this is a great time to call in and get your spot in the caller queue. we're going to tell everybody what's coming up on the network, and then we're going to be doing some squatching. Psychic spin.
Excellent. Squatching. But first, on the Psychic Talk Radio Network this week, we have some great shows coming up. Our next show is going to be Monday, May 30th, Memorial Day at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. It's the Wisdom of the Soul show with your host, Janice Fuchs. And Spiritual Guidance Radio, which is usually right after that on Mondays, is actually on break on Memorial Day. But Angelic Channel and healer Catherine Hahn will return the following Monday, June 6th. And then Dax is not going to be here next Saturday because it's the first Saturday of the month and time for There's a Rock for That with moi.
Hey, I get a break.
You get a break. And I'm gonna be on at 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern, and I'm so excited. I'm gonna have Gary Rosenberg on the show. He's gonna talk about his hot off the presses 4 Pillars Society Tarot. Our crystal guest is going to be meteorites. And that is what's going on this week at the Psychic Talk Radio Network. Back to you, Dax.
Awesome. And, of course, we always have great stuff going on at the Tarot Guild. And we have our next workshop coming up on a Sunday is going to be Sunday, June 12th. 4 p.m. Eastern, so that's 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. London, UK, and it's going to be we're going to be talking about tarot decks, creating your first deck or more decks, self-publishing, Kickstarters, all that great stuff with the fabulous Jennifer Cooper Steidley. Yes, we've had to postpone this one a few times, so I've been looking forward to this since we had her on the show, which I feel was like February or something, Mary, when she was our guest. And
oh my
she
gosh,
had published.
It was a long time ago, it feels like.
Or January. I don't know. January, February. She had just come out with that
Tarot Disassembled.
Mind blanking here. Tarot Disassembled. And she did a Kickstarter for that, and she self-published. And that's what got us going on this, like, we have to have her come in and talk to our members because a lot of our professional members want to make their own decks, and you're in contact with all of the publishers and so forth. And what I was thinking, hopefully if you're available on that Sunday, you can help me out with this, where you and I can talk with Jennifer. And, you're the great interviewer. You can tease out some great questions on, and also
I'd love
to. What you know. Yeah, that'd be great. What you know about tarot publishers and, going that route versus the self-publishing. But I'm looking forward to, Jennifer's journey and Kickstarters, because she did so well, and we've actually had a few other people at the Guild do really well on the Kickstarters, and so that's coming up.
Well, Gary Rosenberg's Kickstarter starts this coming week. That's why I'm having him on the There's a Rock for That show on Saturday, because he'll be just a few days into his Kickstarter. So I'd love to help out with Jennifer's workshop, asking questions and stuff. It'd be fun.
Yeah, because I feel like it's going to be like that. Like, she's not, I don't think, I got to talk to her about it, but I don't think that she's like, I didn't ask her to prepare a presentation. It's supposed to be a talk.
No PowerPoint.
No PowerPoint. It's just the three of us up there on camera, just, talking about creating your first deck and getting it published and Kickstarters and, best practices, things like that. Yeah. And then, I don't know, I'm going to be messaging her between now and the 12th, of course, and I'll ask her if she has anything prepared that she wants, or handouts or anything like that. But, remind her that just a talk is more than fine. And then the following Sunday is an introduction to astrology for tarot readers with Sharona. And then the following Sunday after that, June 26th, is 3 Cards Ain't with Corby Metline's going to be back. I can't wait for that one because, I'm big on 3-card readings. I started with 3-card readings, learned that from James Rickliffe and his fabulous book. What do they call it now? It was Tarot Tells the Tale, but he's self-published or something?
Yeah, I think it came out under Tarot Readings Explained or something like that is the title
something
now.
Like that.
I'm not sure. Yeah, great book, though. It's
Just
like one of those classics now.
Yeah, do a search, guys, especially if you're new to tarot. I mean, it's my big recommendation is look into my 2 things, Mary. Look into Ciro Marchetti decks, and number 2, go to Amazon, type in James Rickliffe, buy everything that he's published, and there you go.
Yeah.
Got you.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we're gonna.
I was just going to say, also listen to last month's, There's a Rock for That. I had James on doing bibliomancy with his book, Soul's Journey.
Yeah, that's a great book to grab, too.
He's put out a lot of great stuff.
So just to finish up with Corby, I was talking to her about this one, and, 3 cards ain't just, meaning, we tend to look at 3-card readings, past, present, future, and just like as if it's a very basic thing, but it doesn't have to be. They could be very powerful readings, and it may all you ever need, really. You may never need to do these, giant, wieldy kind of like tarot spreads with 10, 11, 15 cards, Yeah, so that's what's coming up. And
the entire deck.
Yeah. Right. Go, and you can check this all out. Go over to thetarotguild.com, and right there on the main page, you'll see an image about our workshops. You'll see a classroom. Click on that big banner, and it'll take you to this list. And not only is it telling you the upcoming workshops, we have a whole bunch planned for the, second and third quarter here of the year, but we have a lot in the can, so to speak, how they say it, and you can watch these anytime, like Learn them on for tarot readers, and Mary and I did a ethics for professional readers, and Corby did her sorting hat spread, and then Mary did setting the stage, how to give a great reading, every time. We had Zebra Zachow come in and do one, and Sharona and I did an introduction to numerology for tarot readers. Pamela Steele, the fabulous Pamela Steele, did tell me a story. Gary did one on how tarot readers can make a difference in the world and make money doing it. It's a lot of great stuff about the business side of doing your tarot business. And Sharona just recently did tarot magic, and Brenda Elizabeth came back and did tarot and dreams. Was that a Sunday ago? It was so good. You got to listen to that one. They're all there for you, and it's free to our premium members. Our premium membership is just $1 a month, folks. So go over to thetarotguild.com. You'll see the quick links, the purple buttons there. Click Join the Guild, and it's billed $12 annually. It's $1 a month, and you get all of these previous workshops and all of our workshops all year long. So go check that out. Alrighty, let's see. And we're going to do our Psychic Spin segment. Real quick, I want to remind everybody, give them the phone number again. If you want to call in, we're going to be taking calls in just a few minutes. That's right. So if you've called in, hold your spot. If you're sitting on the fence, this is when you want to grab your spot right now at 714-816-4628. As soon as you get through, press 1 on your dial pad. That's 714-816-4628. Write that number down. It's also good for all of our other shows on the Psychic Talk Radio Network. Let's see here. Got to do more shuffling, Mary.
Yes.
So,
yes.
Our Psychic Spin segment, we do the psychic spin. I can't talk today. We do the psychic spin segment on the final Saturday that we have a show each month. And Mary, tell folks what to expect.
Yes. What can you expect? Well, our psychic spin segment is all about the big questions, not the everyday. Does he love me? Will he call me? Did I get the job? Did I move? All those, important yet, mundane to our lives questions. This is beyond us. This is the questions that impact all of us. They can be as fundamental as, why are we here? What is life? Are there other planets? Are robots in control? Will they be? Will AI take over? All the big questions. And today's big question is, Bigfoot? Who? What?
Sasquatch?
Huh?
What?
Sasquatch? What? Because don't we need to know? I mean, I'm sorry, but if there is a Sasquatch, Bigfoot, Yeti out there, we need to know about that, right? We need to know.
Hey, I forgot about Yeti. I'm gonna put that in the title for the replay. Yeti.
Yeah, can't forget Yeti. But yeah, what's going on? Is that some kind of hominid? And my first question that came to my mind was, I want to know, because I watch all those Bigfoot shows, has anyone ever actually taken a real photo or video of Sasquatch/Bigfoot/Yeti? Has anybody ever actually taken a photo? I've seen a lot of shaky video. I've seen a lot of, I'm not sure what that is. Is that a guy in a big hairy suit? Photos. So that's the first question. I have so many questions, but that's the first question I'm going to ask the cards. And
my first question, I'm already shuffling and pulling cards on this. Okay, so my first question is going to be, because this is something that came up, it's been around for like 20, 30 years now, this concept, but it's newer, all right? And, I first found out about Yeti, Sasquatch, Bigfoot when it was really big in the 70s. I mean, TV shows did episodes about it all the time. Remember the $6 Million Man and the Bionic Woman? And and Sasquatch, Bigfoot was actually an android, from the aliens. Anyway, God.
Yeah.
Woo, yeah, so it was really big, and then I got into, Coast to Coast AM, listening to Art Bell, back when Art Bell was around and did the show before George Norrie, like 20 years before George. And, a lot of it was Bigfoot, Sasquatch, Yeti, and, so this is, like, really fascinating stuff. And then this concept start coming out where, they're trying to find Bigfoot. Some people wanted to shoot Bigfoot, like they could, put them up on the mantle or something, that kind of thing, which was disgusting. It's like, this is a humanoid, probably very intelligent. Anyway, but listen, then things got a little bit weird. I mean, the aliens came into the whole concept. That started getting mixing in. And then the other concept that came out was similar to Native Americans with Skywalker Ranch and I'm trying to remember what it's called. Help me out, Mary.
Skinwalker. Skinwalker Ranch.
Skinwalking. That's it. Skinwalking is when they can take on different form, and that led into this whole thing about, well, maybe Bigfoot is transdimensional, and that's why we can't find Yeti and we can't find Sasquatch, because they disappear and then they come back. So that's my question. I'm asking, are they transdimensional beings?
Yeah.
So what are you getting on your question?
Yeah, it's some interesting cards. I feel like the short answer is no. Nobody's actually taken like an actual photo of a Bigfoot, Yeti, Sasquatch. And the cards that come up here are really interesting. The central focus card is the Ten of Swords. So it seems to me like there's maybe a limitation in some way. Like they can't quite capture it on film or photo. We also have a devil card here, so maybe there's some intentionality behind why they can't. Maybe it's a sort of camouflage of some sort, because the moon card comes up too, as if there's in some way, it's making things unclear and shadowy and shrouded in some way. And the High Priestess comes up in the past position. It's like almost as if Bigfoot knows. The Bigfoot or the Sasquatch or whatever maybe has an intuitive faculty that alerts it or it just knows just from its own history that people are going to try to do that, to see it, to capture it, to display it, to exhibit it in some way. And so it may have some intentional obstacle it's creating, like some sort of camouflage. Maybe it's not even what we even think it looks like. And that's what I got.
Did you say you got the devil card?
Yeah, the devil, Ten of Swords, Moon card. I mean, it's like,
Well, the reason why I ask is because I'm doing my spread on my question, but I decided to pull a card and see what came up, and I got the devil card as well. And
wow.
the devil card in the Grand Lux, just has this look that screams Bigfoot and Native American and mysticism and things like that. And the figure, the larger figure, that's in the card is like looking at you, and just kind of like a sideways stare kind of thing. And I get that. So I'm getting that same vibe that you're getting about that question.
Interesting, isn't it?
Interesting. And so, I pulled, did my typical yes/no spread, 5 cards on is Yeti, Sasquatch, Bigfoot, transdimensional, and the main card I got is Temperance, which is a yes, by the way. Temperance card. And it's interesting because in the Grand Lux, Chiro Marchetti's version here, this is, she's like floating in the air. It's very ethereal. Fits in with the genre. And as I look at the cards, I'm getting 4 out of 5 yes, Mary, on this.
Wow.
Very, very interesting. I got the Sun card. And the only no card I got was because in this system the core cards are no, and I got the Queen of Wands. Now, in this particular deck, the wands are adorned. These all the wands cards, or most of them anyway, I think, have dragons on them. And right away, instantly, I got this thought, Mary, and it's the last card I pulled, by the way. And I think it was, the tarot kind of hinting that, yes, and the Temperance cards, that, blending of opposites, it may not be like, it may not be exactly, what the main concept that's normally presented is around this transdimensionality, but getting this last card and hitting on the dragons, it's like the tarot saying Yeti, Sasquatch, Bigfoot is like the dragons. They're ethereal now. Isn't that fascinating?
It is fascinating. It is fascinating.
And I was shocked. I've always come from the cryptozoological angle of things. That it's the population is just so low, and they live in the woods, and they naturally are skittish. They don't want to be around humans, and that's why we don't see them, but and when I drew the cards, I thought for sure I was going to get a no on this, like you got your no initially, but I was shocked because it was yes, 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 and then the Queen of Wands with the dragons on it, and I'm like, wow. What else can we ask? Is there anything else burning question on this, Mary?
Right. But what are humans? Because we do have all these shows where people are trying to, they're literally going squatching. They're looking for Sasquatch. They're setting, they're making sounds in the woods and all of these things and trying to get its attention. And so my other question would be like, what do we need to know? What do humans need to know? Should we keep pursuing Bigfoot, or will there ever be a time where that we come together somehow with Bigfoot, humans and Bigfoot? Just as human beings, what do we need to know about this? And should all those people be out there? But just pulling some cards on that. Wow, that's weird. What do we need to know about it? Well, this is interesting. 5 of Cups, 5 of Wands, 10 of Swords. And, the Page of Wands in the outcome position. I almost feel like it's saying, like, yeah, we're going to be disappointed if we keep approaching it the way that we're approaching it. That if we keep like trying to hunt Bigfoot, if it like becomes like a competition to get Bigfoot and all of the stuff that I think we're just not going to have a satisfactory result from that. The Page of Wands in the future, maybe there's a future time where maybe there'll be even like some sort of direct message involved, or that our curiosity will enter a new phase and we'll kind of approach it differently. But it seems to be the message is like, you're not going to get anywhere the way you're going, human beings.
I'm pulling cards and I'm getting some really interesting things. A lot of 7 cards. The highest spiritual number in spirituality, and in tarot, and what I'm thinking about is, 7s, like if it's your numerology, if it's your life path or your attitude number or your destiny, those are like the natural detectives, right? And so there's always going to be people that want to figure this out. Okay, but things are happening in the background and hidden, and the 7 of Swords, it's just. Yeah. But I got some other interesting things, like another 7 card. I got the 7 of Cups. And there's going to be, I feel like there's going to be continued confusion and fantasy surrounding it. There's going to be continuing, new ideas about it. And lots of rehashing of the old ideas, right? And then I get yet another 7 card. I get the 7 of Wands. Wow. And he's holding his ground there. I think that there may come a time when we have some answers. Should they or will they stop? No, it's just never going to happen. There's too much foundation around it now, and the card I'm getting is the 4 of Coins. Okay, and so there's already a structure, a foundation built around this whole concept, storyline, and the searching and all that stuff like that. When I pulled this card, and in Chiro's deck, the Grand Lux here, he's a merchant, and there's a ship behind him, and he's got all this stuff in front of him, and the globe, and the coins, the money. And right away, instantly, I was like, no, they're making way too much money off of this for it to ever stop.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
That's a good point.
Two things will happen. Either we won't figure it out, but they'll keep trying because they're making money off of it, especially the reality shows. And number two, even if we do finally figure it out, then there's going to be the 20 books written about, we figured it out, and here's the story. And more reality TV shows. I had dinner with Bigfoot. You wait. You wait.
Dating Bigfoot.
Now,
dating Bigfoot would be hilarious.
Right, dating Bigfoot. And now going a little bit further on. Yeah, I'm pulling more cards going into the future a little bit, and kind of, tapping into that whole, what you were talking about, should we, will we, all that kind of stuff. And what shows up, but the Ace of Wands, it looks like, so I got the Ace of Wands and then the Ace of Swords. So it looks like I'm getting the feeling, there's going to be like some kind of resolution, but like kind of way in the future kind of thing. Also on the Ace of Wands is a big dragon. It's the tarot, it's a completely different question, different cards, but it's tarot throwing the same thing at us, Mary, that Bigfoot is like dragons. They are ethereal now, okay? And I feel with the Ace of Swords, it's saying, we are never going to reach the resolution until we look at this differently. This is a new idea or concept coming in with it being a single swords card. And it's not till we get, more, because I feel like this is going to happen with, and maybe this is another question for Psychic Spin later, will we ever get out of our, super Western materialistic, ways and get back to being more spiritual? And that's what popped in my head when I got these last two cards, is that there can be a resolution. People have to get more spiritual, and then we're going to find out.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, because it is. Because while you were talking, I was just thinking, like, what is it? What would Bigfoot want us to know?
Mm-hmm.
Like the Bigfoots, the Bigfoot Society. What do they wish humans would do instead, or what do they want us to do or to know? And I actually pulled a card from Raven's Empath's Oracle deck, and the card that came up is all about
good idea.
examining our own self-identity. So there's something about the way that our own concept of ourselves, and maybe that's the reason that the chase has gone on for so long and the interest has never waned about Bigfoot, is because we somehow think, okay, if this is a humanoid, we need to know about it, because otherwise we're the only ones. We're the only ones that are humanoid on this planet, and maybe we need to examine exactly what does that mean. We don't look at it that way. We don't look at what it means to be human all that often.
Right. And besides, it's, if you think about it, from a cryptozoological standpoint, it makes a lot of sense too. If you think about, if they're humanoid, and if they come from the same tree as everybody else, that humans divided off onto, Cro-Magnon and Neolithic, and those all went away, and some of the DNA got into the humans, and then if there actually is or was a race of Yeti, Sasquatch, Bigfoot, that they took a different path than us. They stayed close to nature and maybe became more spiritual, in fact, to a point so more spiritual that now they've transitioned and they are ethereal. It goes back to the whole thing about, and maybe it's hinting at what we're supposed to be doing as a species, that we need to get back to that in nature.
Yeah.
I don't know. That just popped in my head. Yeah.
No, that makes sense.
So there you go, folks.
That's why they're saying you need to take a look at what you are, who you are. I like that.
Exactly. So there you go, folks. Psychic Spin for this month.
That was trippy.
And, you know, wasn't it? It was great, though. It was one of our better ones, I think.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Fascinating.
And I want to leave everybody with, you know, get in contact with us and let us know what big questions you want us to ask the tarot about.
Yes.
You can give us your ideas. Yeah. Yeah. What would you like us to do next month? You know, I'm trying to think of something off the top of my head, you know, but like, you know, what are those flying saucers, you know? Mermaids is an interesting one. That is an interesting one. You know, I know you were big into the fairies at one point, and
still am. The fairies, the unicorns. I'm all about it. I love dragons too.
Yeah.
But
me too.
Mermaids.
Something like.
Yeah.
How about something?
Because did you ever
also? Let me just get this out before I forget. Something along the lines of crystals, but you know, not the typical stuff like how you cover it on There's a Rock for That, the first Saturday of the month, but something along the lines of, is there more to crystals than we know, and what is it that we don't know about crystals? Because I feel like there's something there.
Absolutely. Crystal Devas. I've covered it on my show, but I think it's an area that people have a hard time connecting to, because it's like, is it like a fairy? Is every crystal connected with a deva? Is the concept, and what does that really mean? You know, are we connecting with fairies? What other kind of beings are we really connecting with when we connect with crystals? And there's a lot of wild, interesting ideas about all of that.
Yes, but for you folks out there, you know, your questions might be completely different. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, it may be political. I mean, I find politics to be boring, but you know, if that's your question, you know, but it could be something more along the lines of, you know, working with the law of attraction, you know, the universe, how does it all work? You know, the really big questions. Get a hold of us between now and
in the
future,
the end of
June. In the future,
what's the future going? Yeah, questions about the future, like what's it going to be like?
And why have we never or have we actually ever come across real time travelers, and will there ever be time travel? You know, I love my time travel.
Yes.
Stuff, right? Yeah.
Yes.
So hey, I want to put it out there that if we don't get to your call today, I think we have time for another call or two. If we don't get to your call today, remember to tune in for Mary's show. There's a Rock for That. Same time, same place next week here on the Psychic Talk Radio Network. I won't be here, but Gary Rosenberg will be here with Mary, and they'll be taking your calls. I think that's the next live show, so that's why I'm throwing that out there. And it's the same phone number, so write it down, 714-816-4628. It looks like area code 630 has been waiting the longest. Caller, are you there? What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi. Thanks for taking my call. My name is Dion. I'm calling from Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
Hi.
Hi.
What did you want to talk about?
Well, for your psychic spin questions, you know, like you're asking people, maybe a good question would be, is Elon Musk an alien?
Ooh, I love it. Yeah. We all want to know, right? Like, what? That's a good one.
I feel like he is, but maybe other people would need to be convinced by a tarot spread. I don't know.
I don't know
he was
either, but
I saw a clip on YouTube. He was on one of the night shows, and the host was asking
SNL.
him, are you actually the evil mad scientist villain in all of
right.
this? Oh boy, yeah, that's a good one, Dion. Do you have another question for us so we can pull cards on for you real quick?
Yeah. So I'm transitioning into a new career. And with that career, I'm looking to move, but hopefully by the end of the year, or close to the end of the year. Is there anything that Spirit wants me to know about, me going into this transition? I think I'm handling it pretty well, but we're all a work in progress, so I want to remain teachable. Because I already know I don't know everything, so.
Oh, we lost Mary. Hold on. Are you there, Mary?
I'm here.
We lost you for a second.
I don't know. It just dropped. So where are we at?
Yes.
What did I miss? Is it my turn?
You're
What's
up
going on?
first, I think. It's your turn.
Okay.
And did you hear Dion's question?
Yeah, what Spirit wants her to know about this transition and upcoming move possibly that's going on or coming up or happening, and what is the thing? Oh, okay, hold on. One more card will give me the answer here. I'm doing it kind of the light and the dark of it, the shadow and light of the situation for you. And the thing you got to watch out for is things getting out of balance, or you feeling like, you can't quite, get the right balance with all of this stuff. And it's really saying the answer to that is to take those moments, right? Take those moments where, because, this transition and moving and everything, it's a time of great change. And sometimes in the midst of that, we can kind of feel some overwhelm. We can kind of feel, just a little bit exhausted, right? And we got to kind of maintain our balance to kind of get everything, on track and get into the groove. And so it's saying really kind of pay attention to that, and also, know that, that balance and that harmony, that's going to come. So, but yeah, there sometimes has to be a little chaos before we have order. So that's what I'm getting from Spirit for you. Dax, what are you getting?
Oh, it's so interesting because it's very in alignment with what you started out with there, Mary, because the central focus card I got was the 5 of Cups, and that's literally the crying over spilt milk card. And in this card, in this version of it, the lady's kind of hunched forward. She's got a cup in her hands, but it's spilt the contents, and the other two, there's 2 by a window that are upright, still have their contents, and she's looking down and then has her hand on her chest. And it's that's the whole feeling, that I got, that you mentioned, Mary, that Dion could slip into that if she's not careful. And then the strength card shows up. You have to have the inner fortitude. And then the other message coming through is that really you're in control. The Magician card shows up. You can manifest what you want here. You're in control of the whole situation. And I even got something on that balance, this really pretty 2 of Wands from the Legacy deck, and it's got 2 pathways through the woods. You got the green on one side, purple on the other, and it's got that perfect, balance that you were talking about, Mary, and
oh yeah.
Yeah. So I concur with everything you got, Mary. I hope that helps you out, Dion.
It does. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for calling.
Thanks for the
Have
call.
a great weekend.
Enjoy the rest of your weekend. And we have one more caller we're going to try to squeeze in here, area code 267. Caller, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Jessica from Pennsylvania.
Hi, Jessica.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm going through a transition as well, which I think everybody is.
Sounds like it today.
Up as far as, well, I don't know. I guess just anything related to like house, career, or relationship. Seems like
okay, we got to narrow this down here.
It's all related. It's all coming at the same time. That's why. So
yeah, like what? That? Oh yeah, because I'm getting that. I'm getting the Five of Wands, and it's kind of scattered, and things are happening like really fast with the Eight of Wands here. But you know, what's the most burning question though? The thing you really need to know.
I mean, I'm waiting for my housing situation to stabilize. So I don't want to predict when, because that never ends up being true whenever anyone does a reading. Just any guidance around that, like whatever's coming up around that, because it has been exhausting. You guys are talking about with change and stuff. Mm-hmm.
It's, oh, God, yes, definitely exhausting for sure. Oh, and I got the Ten of Swords. You know, it's like that. In this particular one, it's a little different. Usually we go with the Eight of Swords, but, you know, in this particular deck, I mean, he kind of looks trapped, you know, and then it's just overkill. And it's mostly, you know, swords, thoughts, and ideas, like all these thoughts and ideas, and, you know, the just mass confusion with the Five of Wands, and then the Eight of Wands, things happening really fast. You know, I also got the Hierophant card. So a lot of this is talking about you in particular, you know. So like you said, getting away from like predicting the when and all that kind of stuff that doesn't really help you out. It's more about the self-care and having some kind of structure, some kind of ritual, something that grounds you and balances you out with that Hierophant coming in here. The Nine of Cups shows up at the end as the outcome. So, you know, that's the wish come true card. I mean, it's going to work out. It's going to work out. But the main thing is being able to, you know, get out of your head space. You got too many swords here with this Ten of Swords. And get more into your heart space. That last card, Nine of Cups, it's cups. Yeah. So it's a shift of focus to what you're feeling, working through that, and then focusing on how you want things to be, not worrying about the nuts and bolts, and having some kind of ritual. Going back to the 5 card, the Hierophant, you know, you want to have a ritual set up that you do on a daily basis. It doesn't have to be a big, long thing, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, you know, where you sit down and, you know, I do morning and night myself, you know, wake up in the morning, do it. Sometimes I pull some cards along with this contemplation, and then at night before I go to sleep, same thing. I might pull some cards, and then I do, you know, but that's because I'm a tarot person, you know, but, you know, you don't have to have tarot cards. You don't have to be a tarot person. You can just sit with yourself and focus on how you want the things to be and put your attention there and not on any of the negative, any of the lack. Get out of your thinking space, you know, that Ten of Swords. That's the advice that I'm getting from the tarot. Let's see what Mary's getting. She might have some more insight here.
Yeah, you know, I'm not even sure, you know, what. Here it is. It's not really addressing like one particular thing, perhaps, right? But like there's 3 things, right? You know, the 3 of Swords is overlooking everything else, and it feels like there's these 3, you know, large things that are just sort of like swords dangling over our head in a way. And the thing about the 3 of Swords is that a lot of times, you know, there's a feeling of anguish with it, and opposite it in this spread is the Ten of Cups. The Ten of Cups is when we're emotionally fulfilled and we're happy. It's a rainbow of cups of, you know, la la la, you know, it's a great time. And I feel like, okay, right now where we're at is like the middle card, and that's the Seven of Wands. So it's like you got to like hold your ground. You've got to try to deal with things as clearly as you can, like have that clarity in your mind, but not let everything come together to create this sense of like, you know, anguish, the sort of dark. Don't let it become like a dark cloud in your mind. And the last card that comes up is the Temperance card. So it's like sometimes that's a card of blending things together, of also finding the middle ground, the compromise. You know, so that's something to think about. Sometimes when we are, you know, so set on getting things accomplished and taking care of business, because the preceding card of all of this is the Chariot card. It's like, yes, we're going to get it done. We have things to do. Victory will be ours, you know, like it's a feel I'm getting from this Chariot card. And it's like, okay, you know, sometimes a compromise is actually a solution and not a failure, okay, because I know sometimes people aren't so into the idea of compromise. And, you know, Three of Swords is a very basic, you know, very, very basis of the Three of Swords is this idea of division, you know, divide up these tasks or these areas that you're dealing with in ways that, you know, you're not losing any ground or momentum, but at the same time, you're making it easier on yourself. You're allowing those Ten of Cups moments to come in. So that's what I get.
Yeah, that last that thing about the whole compromise thing is basically where I'm at with like my housing situation, because like the last month, my soul has just taken me on such a wild ride that I've had all these practices in place, and I have been doing them. I'm an avid journaler, but it's just been so wild
how I've
been moving around that it's just been, I can't even really make sense of it, and I don't even want to think back to what happened to me over the last month. Not like it was like terrible, but it was just so much shifting and kind of chaos, but in an organized way, and it's just like, what the hell? Like, it's just like, what was I
right?
To this? You know, so it's kind of like I'm at this point that it's like I'm tired. I'm sitting in the park now. I'm getting back to my grounded. Like I used to do this all the time. Now I'm able to just sort of relax a bit, and it's like, please, when I go look at the house today that I'm going to be looking at, please just let me feel it in my body. Let my guide tell me, yes, this is the one. Because the whole month and beyond it, it's been like, no, this is not it. No, this is not it. No, this is not it. And it's like, oh, my goodness, like this is, and I've been having to move from one place to the next because I've been out of my my lease. So it's constantly being uprooted, clearing stuff, and then leaving again my temper and replace, then clearing more stuff, moving again. And it's like, oh, Jesus. Like, what is the point of it? So, yeah. Again, I just can't really make sense of it. It's mind-boggling.
Yeah, it's a lot. That's the whole thing, that Ten of Cups, you know, a lot of times, you know, we see that classic picture of the Ten of Cups where it's like, you know, the nice little home and the rainbow of love and the cups over it. And when we don't have a semblance of that and we are just moving from temporary space to temporary space, it's easy to really feel that kind of overwhelm, you know, and it's gonna shift. You know, it's going to shift for you. It is, but in the middle of it, yeah, you know what to do. It sounds like to try and, you know, you don't even have to think about it. Just put your feet in the ground. You know, be out there, breathing every now and then. But yeah, it's a difficult moment right now. It's going to change, but that doesn't mean it makes it any less difficult in the now of it.
Yeah, but the thing is that, like, you feel like you have such control over your life because you do these, like, sort of practices and whatever, and then, like, your soul's like, okay, let's just amp it up. and then you're like, what?
Yeah.
You know, it's like you feel totally out of control, and then like nothing makes sense, and then like you're trying to make sense of this and that, and then you're like, I can't even think about it anymore. Like it's just enough.
Yeah.
Like I just want to, the day's over, and I just want to forget about whatever happened. You know, it's like one of those things. So
yeah, that challenge, and I get that. You know, I feel like, I don't know why. You know, I don't have the big answer why to it. I'm not even going to try and answer the why of it, but I think that happens to a lot of people that do. You know, they've done the work. They've done the spiritual work. They've done all that stuff, and you get to a place where you're like, okay, this life thing, I got this, and then it's like the universe shows up and says, do you really? How about this? You know. And sometimes you have to, you know, you said, you know, I can't even think about it, and it's like, man, maybe that's the answer. Sometimes it's like, we can't even think about it, so don't even try, and just do you, you know, and that doing of you and in this moment, and all, know that all of that knowledge and all of those skills are going to serve you, but maybe not in the way that's so straightforward like it is sometimes.
Yeah, it's helpful to share it and just laugh about it, because it's really been insane. Like, it's just really been insane.
Yeah. So sometimes life gets ridiculous, you know, where you just have to throw your hands up and say, you know, do some laughing yoga, where you just throw your hands up and you open yourself up to the universe and you just laugh it out. You just laugh it out all the way from your root chakra all the way out.
You know,
yeah.
Watch all the comedies, one after another. Yeah. Well, thanks for the call. I hope it helped you out.
Yeah. Have a great weekend. Take care.
Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. But the thing is that, you know, even doing all that work and everything, Mary, you know, I mean, you don't make any progress unless you step outside of the garden. You have to walk, you know, step out of the comfort zone, and it's going to be painful. It's going to be painful. You know, there's no getting around it. Like, I got that Ten of Swords, and the Ten of Swords, that was the first card I pulled, and that's where she's at. And the Ten of Swords, you know, it's a card of transition. Something is completely and, you know, finally, I don't want to say finally, but, you know, final, complete, utter ending. And one door closes and the other door opens. So she's going to make that move, and it's going to be great. But, you know, there's no transition, especially major transition, without, I mean, look at the card with the swords and the guy and the anguish, you know, look on his face. And, you know, that's part of it, you know, to make any progress and change and move forward. So that's what's going to happen. Boy, great show. I really enjoyed the Sasquatch stuff.
Me too.
Yeah. So I can't wait to tune in next Saturday. I'll be on break. Yay. But I get to listen to you and Gary.
Yeah. Yay.
Yep.
See you.
So thanks, everybody, for being here. And if you're listening in archive, thanks for joining us. And have a great weekend, everybody.
Thank you, Dax.
Thanks, Mary.
Yeah. Thanks, Dax. Bye, everybody. Happy Psychic Saturday.
Good night, Mary Ellen.
Good night, John Boy.